Every single one of us has stood at a crossroads, faced with a choice that feels like it could change everything. Whether it's a job offer, a move to a new city, or a relationship at a tipping point, these moments can feel like the weight of the world is on our shoulders. But what if I told you there's an ancient philosophy that teaches us how to navigate these life-altering decisions with calmness and clarity? Stoicism, a school of thought dating back over 2,000 years, isn't just about enduring hardship. It's about finding a deep, resonant peace amid life's storms. Today, we're diving deep into how Stoic principles can help us lead lives of greater fulfillment and less anxiety. Whether you're facing a difficult decision right now, or just looking for ways to lead a more centered life, stick with me. We're about to explore how these time-tested strategies can be your guide in the modern world. If you appreciate what we're diving into today, a simple free favor I'll ask from you is to hit the subscribe button. And please, don't skip any part of the video. Every moment is packed with insights you won't want to miss. Let's get started. We get caught up in regrets about the past or worries for the future, and it's easy to miss the beauty and opportunity that's right in front of us. Stoicism teaches us that the present moment is the only one we can truly influence. It's where life happens. Think about it this way. When we dwell on the past or stress about what's coming, we're not just wasting time. We're also missing out on life as it unfolds. Marcus Aurelius urged us to focus our energy on the present because it's fleeting and it's where our power lies. He believed that understanding this could free us from unnecessary pain and allow us to experience joy in everyday activities. So, how do we practice this? It starts with small, conscious decisions. When you're eating, really taste your food. When you're walking, feel each step connect with the ground. Listen intently when others speak, not just waiting for your turn to talk, but really hearing them. This mindfulness in simple activities cultivates a deeper appreciation for life as it is right now. Living in the present isn't just about enjoying the moment. It's about making peace with the uncontrollable nature of life. By focusing on the now, we reduce the impact of those worries that might never come to pass and the regrets that can't be changed. It's liberating, really. You start to see the world more clearly, engage more deeply with others, and meet challenges with a calm, focused mind. Stoicism teaches us that everything around us, including our own experiences and life itself, is constantly changing. Nothing is permanent, and this isn't something to fear, but to embrace as a natural part of existence. Consider the seasons. Just as winter melts into spring and gives way to the warmth of summer, which then cools into autumn, our lives are also in a constant state of flux. This continuous change is the only certainty we have. The ancient Stoics believed that by accepting this impermanence, we can find true peace. They urged us to not cling too tightly to moments, people, or possessions, because attachment leads to inevitable suffering when those things inevitably change or fade away. But how can this idea of impermanence actually help us? Well, it encourages us to live more fully. When we recognize that our time with loved ones, our experiences, and even our own emotions are fleeting, we're more likely to cherish them. It teaches us to appreciate the now, rather than getting lost in regrets about the past or worries for the future. Imagine how much more deeply you might savor a moment with a friend or a family member, knowing that everything changes and nothing lasts forever. And when life throws challenges our way, as it inevitably does, this understanding of impermanence reminds us that difficulties are also temporary. Whether it's a tough day at work, a rough patch in a relationship, or a personal setback, remember, this too shall pass. It's not about being dismissive of problems, but about fostering resilience, by putting them into perspective. Embracing impermanence also means we're more adaptable to change, making us more flexible and less fearful of the unknown. It's about flowing with life rather than resisting it. Stoicism doesn't just help us handle loss or change. It empowers us to approach every new challenge and opportunity with a clear, calm mind. This is not about passive resignation or giving up. Rather, it's about embracing life as it comes, with all its unpredictability and challenges. Stoicism teaches us that while we can't control everything that happens to us, we can control how we respond to what happens, and that response can make all the difference. Think about the last time something didn't go your way. Maybe a plan fell through, or a situation turned out differently than you hoped. Our natural instinct might be to resist, to fight against the disappointment. But what if, instead, we accepted it? This doesn't mean we like it or that we stop trying to improve our circumstances, but rather, we acknowledge the reality without letting it dictate our inner peace. Acceptance is really about understanding the limits of our control. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus famously said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This is the essence of Stoic acceptance. It's an active choice to not let external events disturb our inner tranquility. When we accept what we cannot change, we conserve our emotional energy and remain open to finding new paths or solutions that we might have missed if we were caught up in frustration or anger. Practically speaking, acceptance can look like taking a deep breath when you're stuck in traffic instead of fuming over the delay. It's choosing to find the silver linings when things don't go according to plan. On a deeper level, it might mean coming to terms with a loss or a change in life circumstances, acknowledging the pain, but not allowing it to overwhelm you. The power of acceptance also lies in reducing the stress and anxiety that come from clinging to the idea that things must be a certain way. It helps us to be more present, more engaged with life as it is, not as we wish it would be. This can lead to a surprising outcome. The more we accept, the more flexible and adaptable we become. Life's unpredictability becomes less threatening, and we find ourselves more capable of navigating its complexities with grace and composure. This is about understanding that sometimes the strength lies not in holding on, but in releasing. Letting go can be one of the most challenging practices, especially when it concerns something or someone dear to us. But Stoicism provides a profound perspective on why this is not only necessary, but ultimately liberating. Consider for a moment the energy it takes to hold on to grievances, regrets, or even old habits that no longer serve us well. It's like carrying a backpack filled with stones. With each step, the load doesn't just slow us down, it also makes the journey less enjoyable. Learning to let go is akin to setting down that heavy backpack and feeling the relief and lightness that comes with it. The Stoic philosophers, such as Seneca and Marcus Aurelius, often discussed the importance of detachment, not as a way of becoming cold or unfeeling, but as a means to achieve inner peace. They advised us to examine our attachments and ask ourselves, are these serving us or are they holding us back? By practicing detachment, we prepare ourselves to respond to life's changes with flexibility and resilience. Letting go also involves forgiving. This could be forgiving others for their mistakes or, just as importantly, forgiving ourselves. Carrying anger or guilt is exhausting, and it tethers us to the past. Forgiveness isn't about condoning wrongdoing, it's about freeing ourselves from the burden of an ongoing emotional debt. And what about letting go of control? Many of us struggle with the need to control every aspect of our lives and the lives of those around us. But the truth is, we can't control everything, and trying to do so is futile. Stoicism teaches us that accepting the limits of our control helps us focus on what we can influence: our thoughts, our behaviors, and our reactions. Embracing the art of letting go transforms how we experience life. It allows us to move through the world with more ease and grace. It helps us manage stress and navigate adversity without becoming overwhelmed. Imagine how much more peaceful life could be if we simply let go of the need for things to be perfect, or for life to go exactly as planned. Mindfulness might seem like a modern buzzword, but it's deeply rooted in ancient Stoic practices. It's about being fully aware of where we are and what we're doing, without being overly reactive or overwhelmed by what's going on around us. Mindfulness is more than just a meditation practice. It's a way of being. It involves observing our thoughts and emotions without judgment. This can be incredibly powerful because it allows us to respond to life situations with clarity and wisdom rather than reacting out of habit or impulse. Stoicism teaches us that our power lies in our ability to choose our response, and mindfulness sharpens this ability by bringing us into the present moment where all choices are made. Think about how often our minds are tangled up in thoughts about the past or worries for the future. By practicing mindfulness, we can bring ourselves back to the now, the only place where life actually happens. It's like tuning an instrument. When our minds are finely tuned to the present, we can play beautifully, no matter what notes life throws at us. So, how do we practice mindfulness in a practical, everyday sense? It starts with simple awareness. For example, when you're eating, really taste your food. When you're walking, feel the ground under your feet. When you're listening to someone, give them your full attention. This kind of presence enriches your experiences and reduces the feeling of rushing through life. But mindfulness also means being aware of our inner landscape. Notice when you're feeling rushed, upset, or overjoyed. Observe these emotions without getting swept away by them. This observation is key in Stoicism. It helps us understand ourselves better and manage our emotions more effectively. Incorporating mindfulness into your daily routine doesn't have to be daunting. You can start with just a few minutes each day. Perhaps take a moment each morning to breathe deeply and set your intentions for the day. Or, if you find yourself feeling stressed or overwhelmed, pause and take a few slow, deep breaths to center yourself. Over time, these moments of mindfulness will add up, helping you to become more resilient, calm, and connected to the present. In our fast-paced world filled with constant noise and chatter, the power of silence is often underrated. Yet for Stoics, silence isn't merely the absence of sound. It's a strategic tool for better understanding and insight. Silence in Stoicism isn't just about not speaking. It's about creating a space for our thoughts to settle, allowing us to listen more deeply to ourselves and others. It's about restraint. Choosing not to speak when doing so might worsen a situation, or when listening might yield greater benefits. It's in these quiet moments that we can reflect, gain clarity, and connect more profoundly with the principles we want to guide our lives. Think about how often we speak without really thinking. Quick responses, especially in tense or emotional situations, can escalate conflicts or lead to misunderstandings. Now imagine using silence as a response instead. This pause gives you time to consider your words carefully, to reflect on your true intentions, and to respond from a place of wisdom rather than impulse. Marcus Aurelius emphasized the importance of measured speech and thoughtfulness, qualities that are deeply enhanced by silence. But how can we practice effective silence in our daily lives? Start small. For instance, in your next conversation, try listening more than you speak. observe what happens when you give others the space to express themselves without immediately jumping in with your own thoughts. You might discover new layers to your relationships, understanding people's motivations and feelings more clearly. Silence can also be a powerful ally in personal reflection. Dedicate time to sit quietly each day, even if just for a few minutes. Use this time not to plan or ruminate about your day, but to simply be present with your thoughts. This practice can help you develop inner tranquility and strength, which are essential for facing life's challenges with a calm and steady mind. Moreover, in the stillness of silence, we often find the answers we've been searching for. Solutions to problems seem to arise naturally when we quiet the mental noise and allow our minds to breathe. Stoicism teaches us that many answers we seek externally are already within us, waiting to be discovered in the quiet depths of thoughtful silence. This Stoic idea encourages us to find value and satisfaction in the process itself, rather than being solely fixated on the end result. It's about appreciating every step along the path, understanding that each phase of our efforts and experiences holds its own worth. In our modern rush to achieve, it's easy to think that happiness and fulfillment come only at the finish line, whether that's achieving a career goal, completing a project, or even improving personal habits. But Stoicism invites us to shift our focus from future outcomes to the present tasks. This shift helps us cultivate patience, presence, and a deeper enjoyment of life as it unfolds. Consider the artist who finds joy not just in the completed painting, but in the act of painting itself. The feel of the brush on the canvas, the blend of the colors, the quiet hours in the studio. Or think about a writer who revels in the process of crafting sentences and developing characters, regardless of the novel's future success. This principle doesn't just apply to creative endeavors. It's relevant to all aspects of life, including our personal and professional goals. By focusing on the journey, we also learn to value growth and development that come from challenges and setbacks. Instead of viewing obstacles as mere hurdles to overcome, we can see them as opportunities to gain wisdom and strength. Each difficulty teaches us something new about ourselves and our capabilities, enriching our life's narrative. This Stoic practice of enjoying the journey requires us to slow down and be more mindful of the present. It's about taking a moment to appreciate the small successes and the simple beauties of everyday activities. When was the last time you truly savored a moment? Whether it's a conversation with a friend, a quiet morning with a cup of coffee, or a walk through the park, these instances are precious in their own right. This principle helps mitigate disappointment. When our happiness is tied only to outcomes, we are often left feeling unsatisfied because not every endeavor will end successfully. By finding joy in the doing, our emotional well-being becomes more stable and less dependent on external validations. This idea is particularly refreshing in our world that often equates happiness with grand achievements or material possessions. Stoicism reminds us that true joy can be found in the ordinary, the everyday, and even the mundane. Consider how a child finds wonder in the smallest things, a ladybug on a leaf, the patterns of clouds in the sky, or the simple act of jumping in a puddle. As adults, we often lose this sense of wonder amid our busy schedules and responsibilities. Yet, the Stoic philosophy encourages us to reconnect with this simple, profound ability to appreciate life's basic pleasures. Why is this important? Because when we learn to appreciate the simple joys, our lives become filled with countless moments of happiness, rather than us just waiting for the next big thing to come along. It's the morning coffee brewed to perfection, the laughter shared with a friend, the book that transports you to another world, or the comforting silence of an early morning. These experiences are what life is about, and they are often overlooked. Finding joy in simple things also cultivates gratitude. When we acknowledge and appreciate what we have, rather than focusing on what we lack or desire, we cultivate a deeper sense of contentment. Stoicism teaches us that happiness doesn't depend on external circumstances, but on our internal perspective. Marcus Aurelius, a Stoic emperor, often wrote about finding contentment within rather than through external sources. How can we practice this? Start by paying attention to your daily routines. Look for aspects that you usually overlook or take for granted. Maybe it's the comfort of your home, the reliability of your old car, or the peacefulness of your neighborhood. Take a moment to appreciate these, and you might find a new appreciation for your current circumstances. Additionally, try to reduce distractions. In our digital age, it's easy to miss the beauty around us because we're too absorbed in our screens. Make it a point to disconnect occasionally and just be present in your surroundings. Listen to the birds, watch the sunset, feel the texture of fresh linen, engage your senses fully. Embracing this principle also involves reducing our dependence on material possessions for happiness. While it's fine to enjoy nice things, Stoicism teaches us that the joy they provide is temporary and superficial. True joy comes from a state of being, not from having. This Stoic practice isn't just about saying thank you, it's about cultivating an ongoing sense of appreciation for what we have, regardless of our circumstances. Gratitude is a cornerstone of Stoicism because it shifts our focus from what we lack to what we possess, fostering a profound sense of contentment. In Stoicism, gratitude is seen not merely as a reaction to receiving something, but as a proactive stance in our daily lives. It's about recognizing the value of the present moment and everything in it. This could be appreciating the simple act of breathing, the comfort of having a roof over your head, or the presence of a loved one. By acknowledging and valuing these often overlooked aspects of our lives, we build a robust foundation of happiness that isn't shaken by external changes or challenges. Why is this important? Because a grateful mindset reduces envy, increases resilience, and enhances our overall mental health. It helps us endure hardships with a more balanced perspective and mitigates the negative emotions that can cloud our judgment and hinder our happiness. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus emphasized that it's not events themselves that disturb us, but our interpretation of them. Gratitude adjusts that interpretation, allowing us to see the good alongside the bad. So, how can we cultivate this art of gratitude in a practical way? One effective method is keeping a gratitude journal. Each day, write down 3 things you are grateful for. These don't have to be grand events. They can be as simple as a delicious meal, a good conversation, or even the absence of discomfort. This practice trains your mind to spot the positive, eventually making gratitude a natural part of your thought process. Another approach is to express your gratitude to others. This doesn't just strengthen your relationships, it also reinforces your own feelings of thankfulness, whether it's thanking a colleague for their help, appreciating a friend's company, or acknowledging a family member's support. These expressions of gratitude enrich your interactions and deepen your connections. Try to find gratitude in challenges. This might sound counterintuitive, but even difficult times have a silver lining. They teach us lessons, build our resilience, and often lead to new opportunities. By being grateful for these growth opportunities, we align ourselves with the Stoic belief that every experience has value. In embracing gratitude, we also find that our need for external validation diminishes. We become more self-sufficient in our happiness, not dependent on acquisitions or achievements. This doesn't mean we stop striving for improvement, but we do so with a joyful heart, appreciating each step of the journey. In our bustling world, where constant connectivity and social interaction are the norms, solitude is often undervalued or misunderstood. However, for Stoics, solitude isn't about loneliness or isolation. It's about discovering the rich, quiet space where we can connect deeply with ourselves. Solitude offers us a unique opportunity to step back from the noise of everyday life and engage in introspection. This is where we can reflect on our thoughts, assess our life's direction, and cultivate inner peace. The Stoic philosophers like Seneca saw solitude as a time to strengthen the mind and spirit. They believed that in quiet moments, free from the distractions of the outside world, we can practice virtues like wisdom, courage, and self-discipline more freely. Why is this practice so important? Because it allows us to clear our minds, reassess our priorities, and make better decisions. In solitude, we find the clarity that is often obscured by the constant demands and opinions of others. It's also a time when we can confront our fears and anxieties directly, learning how to manage them without external interference. Practicing solitude doesn't mean you need to go on a long retreat away from civilization, although that can be beneficial too. It can be as simple as dedicating a few minutes each day to sit quietly in a room, taking a solitary walk, or engaging in meditation. The key is to ensure these moments are truly yours, free from the pull of gadgets and social media. During these quiet times, you might focus on contemplating Stoic teachings or reflecting on your actions and their alignment with your values. This practice can lead to greater self-awareness and a more profound understanding of your place in the world. It allows you to build a relationship with yourself that is as thoughtful and attentive as the relationships you build with others. Furthermore, solitude can enhance creativity. Without the usual interruptions, your mind can wander more freely, explore ideas more deeply, and discover innovative solutions to problems. History is replete with writers, scientists, and philosophers, including those from the Stoic tradition, who valued solitude for the creative space it provided. Embracing solitude also prepares us to engage more fully with others. When we're comfortable with being alone, we tend to be more present and authentic in social interactions. We no longer rely on others for our happiness or sense of self-worth. Instead, we engage with them out of genuine interest and mutual respect. As we wrap up our journey today, remember that Stoicism isn't just about enduring life's challenges, it's about embracing them with an open heart and a clear mind. Thank you for joining me in this exploration of how ancient wisdom can enrich our modern lives. If you're curious to dive deeper, please check out one of the suggested videos on your screen. Join us again as we continue to unfold the timeless teachings of Stoicism. Thank you for being a part of the Stoic Journal community. Your presence truly makes this journey worthwhile. Until next time, keep seeking wisdom in all that you do.